Hello. These are the last comments. I gotta put up the new comments. Hi, everybody. The wife is on her way over here. Hello to everyone who is on. Rachel, I hope you had enough time to do yoga. Oh, they're gone. I also got a package from Amazon. Very tough package from Amazon. This? What was in this? Thanks, Amazon! This is just another set of clay shaper tools that I had lost a couple sizes of and just had to replace. That right there is one of my favorites. But you're not here to watch me open up stuff. Well, you are here. You were here to watch me open up this mold. Which mold? This one. Look at your mold. Now back at me. Now look to your mold. Stand this guy up. I ordered them from Amazon. Amazon. Silicone tip clay shaper tools. Back brace goes on. Yes, he's ready to crack open. That's even better than yoga. Oh, awesome. So yeah, that's how I do it. Psycho, that's how we do it. Screwdriver! I think on mold cracking, you need a little bit of distance. And this whole tripod handle is covered in plaster, and it's stabbing the heck out of me every time I try to use it. Remember, they're at an angle. That's right. This is beast mode. I'm not getting a crack down here like I like to see. At least I'm not getting it yet. I have some degree of faith that I will, just not yet. Hello, Jerry. This is the beast mode, which is like a beast man sculpture. Now I'm not seeing a crack appear, which I don't like. I don't like that at all. Normally a crack will show up very shortly after you start with your screwdrivers. There we go. We're going to crack open, no problem. Because I saw it move. What I could do now is pry this, and the face just falls off and falls on the floor and breaks. So let's not do that. Be a little more careful. I should have cleaned up my area, but my wife made dinner. So instead I dinnered. Rue is not here yet, but 36 is flooded, so he may be a little while. He's having to go around again. It is like giving birth. Sometimes you must take matters into your own hands. Beast face. With a side of Allen face. So that's my face. We are clear. Looks like a good mold. Okay, this is good. We have mold off. That's exactly right. Okay, so we're cleaning a little bit of clay out of the mold. Yeah, this is awesome. All right, I'm excited. I want to see this guy together again. Latex in it. Making something awesome. Now, I'm pretty sure that the head form will come out of the back of the mold. But we must be cautious. Got it. Yeah, it's pouring here still too. It's rained all day. like angry rain. It's a boy! Oh boy. Yeah, the sculpture is sacrificed in order to get the mold. One has to give way so the other can live. Yeah, the sculpture, the time on it was ruined. But we have a mold now, and that means I can make as many of that sculpture as I want. Tonight I have a pumpkin mask I have to work on. It is a pumpkin sock mask that I think it's going to Stanley. Pretty sure that's right. So I'll be doing a little bit of cleaning here. I'm going to get these two halves of the mold together. I'm going to strap it down again. And then I'm going to leave this guy sit for a while. I don't see a lot of air bubbles. That's good. This will definitely be a power washer job. It'll be a power washer job for tomorrow. Hello, everybody. I do not try to reuse clay for molds because it's going to have little plaster chips in it and things. It's just going to be a little bit dirty. So I would rather not pick a chunk of plaster out of my sculpture, like it might be in the middle of a tooth or something. That's perfect. And then I find a plaster chunk while I'm shaping, and then I have to redo that tooth. So for the interest of speed, I don't. Alexa, countdown 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
That's how much time we're going to spend cleaning this guy out before I switch to Pumpkintopia. Know where you are in your sculpture. Like right now, I'm pretty confident digging around with this metal tool because I'm up under that chin beard. And I don't really have a danger of scratching the mold in any place that the customers will see, that people will see. That's awesome, CS. I do my Wendigo masks out of EVA foam, so that's how I do mine. hard to move a wheeled table from a wheeled chair. Me too, brother, me too. Probably tomorrow I'm going to try and mold the goat. Well, 1980, I mean, that might be something that some people want. Yeah, at this point I was picking mud out of a rock. Okay, so won't metal tools scratch your mold? Not if I don't let them. Wooden tools will not, are less likely to scratch my mold, but they're a little less effective. You know, the clay got leather hard before I molded it, so it's kind of in here. I am being very careful. And you think about what a lot of the texture on this mask was, it's hair, it's fur. So a series of scratches, if I go with the direction of his fur every time I try to remove something, you won't even notice them. So I'm not worried about it. I don't know if I could make a rug out of a pet. First of all, their whole life, I was trying to get their hair out of a rug. So to put their hair into a rug is some kind of weird, delicious irony, but I don't know if I'm prepared to go there. If I'm going to hang out with my dog, I think I'd rather hang out with my dog. And I'll probably be okay letting the power washer get the rest of this out. There's a weird feeling of success that you get from picking the clay out of a mold, though. No, ask away, Mikey, ask away. I get my latex most of the time from Biddy Mold Supply. I get their mask making latex. They are actually in Richardson, Texas, which is about an hour from where I am right now. You can get latex online. I mean, you have to pay for shipping, so that's, I mean, and latex is heavy. It's in a 5-gallon bucket. Buy a 5-gallon bucket. Don't waste your time and money buying smaller amounts, because in all honesty, you're gonna use a 5-gallon bucket. Trying to pour up a whole mask with 2 gallons of latex is very difficult. I understand that, Cobwebs. I have done paw prints of all my dogs also. I will personally use this mask at dark hour, yes. And he may make his way into being a gorilla monster or something at some other point in time. He might become a moss man, but there's a lot of options for him. Here is a tool that's much gentler on the pieces. It is just a wire loop tool. I use it to cut trenches, and then once that trench is cut, I can kind of fold the clay that was near it into that trench, because giving the clay a place to go, it's more likely to get out for you. I did find a couple good flocking tool companies. I purchased, I have one here at the house, I have one more on its way, and I have flock that I purchased on its way. So it's all on its way. Some of it's here, but I'm gonna kind of assemble the whole set, and then I can practice it. Oh, the teeth do teach you a lot, because people think teeth are just little squares. And then, once you start learning the anatomy of teeth, it's a big deal. It's an eye-opener. And if you're going to make monsters, Teeth are so important. Hello, Will. Hello, Patrick. Good deal, Mikey. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, 189 shipped isn't that bad, really. Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have 1 minute and 40 seconds left on your 15-minute timer. Well, yeah, the Heptaron teeth were really pointy, so and it was harder to get to them, and there's just so much detail in that mask that he was harder. Alexa, stop. Okay, we're in pretty good shape. It's a big mold, but it's not, it's not stupid heavy. Yes. Yeah, letting the clay get like leather hard is good. This is the beast mode mold, correct, sir? I think y'all answered way before I got to. I never know if I'm synced up or not, like I could be behind. All right. Okay, so I got an air bubble right there, but that's not going to even look weird. It's a void. Yeah, so get them laid out and then wait. You know, go away from them. Work on other things, then come back. I didn't really have that many issues. I mean, it was all live. I did it all here, so I did it between last night and this morning. All right. Yeah, and the back has some air bubbles on it, kind of like I expected. But you got to do one side first, and if there's one side I want air bubbles on, it's the back. Okay, now I clean off. I won't know until I get it all latexed up what defects there really are. But yeah, I'm not. I think it's going to be fine. I know I have enough here where it's going to be a nice pull. Well, I'm going to use a power washer tomorrow when I really have to clean out all this clay. I'll go to a power washer and I'll just blow this sucker right out. So the real test is to put it together and see if you can see any light through it. And I cannot. All right. That's a good mold. So I'm going to take this and I'll put it in the other room on the table. And then I will clean up my workspace. And then we'll start on the plate. Happy birthday! Me either. I can't wait to see one either. I'm pretty excited. You guys can't see what's going on at all. Terrible at this. Hello, JD James. Oh, right back at you. Alexa, add Lazy Susan to my shopping list.
Lazy Susan added to your shopping list.
This is what birthdays during quarantine are reduced to, huh? My wife had a quarantine birthday. The plaster dries out your buckets, so they don't last very long. You might get, 5 or 6 Massimo's out of it, then it's too dry. Alexa, add IKEA Lazy Susan to my shopping list.
I've added IKEA Lazy Susan to your shopping list.
So, Stanley, if you're watching this evening, would you say you have a large head or a small head or a medium-sized head? Now, I clean as I go. I really do. I do a pretty good job of that. But even then, you see how much I have left right at the end. Just give her a big 41st birthday party, Ezekiel. Give her a big 41st. All right, I have Workspace. That's enough, right? Now, did Stanley say what size head he had? No, he did not. All right. Go with it. That head is underneath of the goat. Should have 2 more over here. Well, anyway, first we have to treat a pumpkin. Who is the pumpkin? Oh, it's Will Carrot.
How big is your head? Is large. Good to know. Awesome. This is why I have my wife help me with stuff. I don't remember things. I remember latex paint formulas, and there are things I remember, but I don't remember who got what. That's why it's very important that she continue to help. Then you get Ron Perlman. You can hear the air get into these. They're so vacuum packed when I get them. Okay. Ron Perlman in the house. That's right. Pumpkin's a bit of a tricky pull. He has all these vines and things on him. This is also probably the third mold of the pumpkin, but he's a pretty popular piece. So, not as clean of a mold as I make the first time. Let me dump out the powder.
Pumpkin.
Me and the wife want to go to Australia. I want to go there and punch a saltwater crocodile.
Yes, if you wait too long, and I'm talking months, then what ends up happening is that the latex will kind of bond to the mold. And then you got to pick it out. I want to go fishing in Australia. I think this is the first time I've ever turned a pumpkin mask into a sock mask. That may be a first for me. So full disclosure, Mr. Hops was up until 5 a.m. last night, or should I say this morning. And I got up at 9 to handle some business. So probably when I'm done with this mask, we will call it a night. But that will probably be 10 o'clock anyway. So I have the whole painting process, and I have the making it into a sock mask process to do. So, Paul Bennett, be very careful trimming the mask from the inside like I was doing. I was doing that because I've trimmed a lot of these masks, so I know their ins and outs. Normally, I will look at it from this side, figure out where the deep spot is, put my finger on it, flip it over, and then I can cut that little deep spot out. So hopefully that's a good tip for you who are trimming masks and such. Okay. Yeah, this is just a nice pumpkin. He's gonna be fun. Okay, so let's get what's that right out on ball?
Hello,
Hey Rue, you made it.
I am here.
So
Great live.
I'm live. Yes,
Hello, world.
Rue is here. He has come to touch the murder hornet.
Appropriate.
Not a euphemism. So go ahead and clean off this side of the table. You know where stuff goes mostly.
Mostly. Hello, Mr. Lassiter. And everyone else, because boy, is it Going
There are
down.
minis. Brew was 36 flooded or passable?
I came up back.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's flooded.
Probably flooded.
Who has teeth besides pumpkin teeth? I keep missing who has them. It's just pumpkin teeth on Etsy. That's the only ones that I get. Now, Wolf Brothers FX makeup, Wolf Brothers makeup, they have some pumpkin teeth stock left that they sell. But they had an ugly breakup with Bob from Pumpkin Teeth. They still have product to sell.
Tends to happen in our industry. Still mangoes. Extras?
I'm actually going to do a Hepteron soon. That is a
Gills?
sea creature.
Yeah. Ooh.
So you can move that out of your way. Just keep it kind of together.
Yeah, sure. Nice shot.
Made it. Nothing but net. That garbage can was way closer than I thought.
Ron Perlman head. Where can you get?
This is from Asylum Props. Asylum Props made this.
Pumpkin Max looks awesome.
Hey, thanks.
Buzz mode is what Brew does at conventions? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sure.
I don't. I didn't age a lot at conventions.
What are you doing?
Looking for this because it moved again.
It's right there. We just spun it around.
Oh, okay.
It's in the drawer labeled Dremels.
Oh. Moved. Slightly from where I am. If anyone that does, know me, I don't really drink that much either anyway. A little bit. But, you will be hard pressed to see me buzz.
Yes, it is, Scott Creighton. Yes, it is.
Was the Hornet finished? Hornet is not finished.
No, he is finishing it this evening.
That's what I am here for.
That's why he's here. So, Rue, it always seems weird as heck to me to say Happy Memorial Day.
I know, right?
It seems like you should say,
That's not a.
let's remember Memorial Day, something like that. And I know that Memorial Day is for those who are gone, but I wish you peace in your observance.
That's a good way to say it. One of those days where everybody tends to send me messages. Not that I'm complaining, it's great to hear from people.
Excess baby powder. Ezekiel says that you need to come to Australia for a drink with the Aussie.
I am so down. Now, however, caveat,
I want to live.
Ezekiel's one of the few people, and Aussies in general, I don't know how well I could hang. I mean, I was in the infantry for a long time, but yeah. Aussies have a reputation.
Well earned, from what I hear. All right. Both of these, Alexa, count down 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting
How
now.
you fuzz the hornet has wasps for hair that would be difficult to replicate.
We will not. We're gonna do it dry. It's gonna be an unhairy hornet.
If I go absolutely crazy on like a beautiful like mounted piece, maybe I'll punch
But
it.
what I normally do is I use coffee stirrer straws. That's what I did for my spiders and stuff, and my ant legs. I will take the coffee stir straws and I will cut them into the little hairs and put them in. And you poke a hole, you put a lighter inside of the mask, you melt the end of the straw, and you pinch it, and it locks itself in place. Depends on your weather. I'm going to check it in 10 minutes. It's so wet outside today, it may not cure up in 10 minutes. It may not get dry in 10 minutes. So I might have to go a little further.
What is my drink of choice? Beer, whiskey mules. Pretty much beer.
Rue is cleaning off table space in order to work on the hornet. So you will see the hornet. And your tiny mandibles, by the way, I think I want to take those off.
Okay.
And we'll do that on a DVA.
Okay.
Because I can cut them on the laser,
Oh yeah.
and they can look real scary.
Yeah. Oh. Liz.
Need this. This is the important list of things I have to make. I'm sure the stuff under the black stripe is not important.
I'm not saying anything at all.
This is why my wife helps me. Varkolin, you are in Argentina, is that right? Are you in Argentina? Do I remember that correctly? I will paint this pumpkin mask, yes. I'm going to finish this mask up this evening.
Just for there.
Other room, it hangs on that door.
Some things change. Ah, got it.
I'm in wait mode.
Things became infrequent around here. I lost where things go.
Yeah. Yes, I put glue all over. Yes, I put glue all over the inside, except for where the hood does not cover the actor's face. I want to glue the mask to the hood. Mask to hood. Grunting is what's for dinner. What did you have for dinner?
Dinner? Pizza.
Oh, hi.
Mod.
How are they?
I really like mod.
Okay.
It's real good.
We can't just call Rob and yell at him. Like, he's not even here right now.
We should call Rob right now and yell at him. What for? Or just no reason?
Have you met Rob?
Oh, well, yeah.
Then you know what for.
I roommate with Rob a lot.
That's right. It shows.
There's not, I mean, there's plenty of reason to yell at Rob. I just meant in particular right now.
I think they just want to. They miss yelling at Rob.
It's fine. So,
He's probably messing things up at home right now and doesn't even know it. Yes. But if I were there, I would tell him. It's my lot in life. I'm his court-appointed yeller at her.
what appointed?
Yes, I do, DJ. I use Pam again. I use Pam on the outside, not Pam. I use Pledge on the outside of the mask, but you can use Pam. Pam is fine. They're just yelling at Rob. They're all yelling at Rob in chat,
Yep.
which is fine.
Bad Rob.
Rob is bad. Hello, Scott. Pledge. Pledge. I pledge to use that as a release. Not Pam uses that as a release.
So take off tiny mandibles.
Hold me close, so tiny mandibles. Yeah, take those two off.
Two for two.
Great job. I gotta pick that up so the dog doesn't eat it.
I think that went all the way up underneath everything.
Still very wet. This is drying faster, but it takes a longer time on the fabric. That has happened, Ezekiel. I have taken a big drink out of the wrong cup in the shop.
Or worse.
I got a whole room full of fans in there, so I'm just going to turn it on and put fans.
I pretty much wince anytime I see somebody dip anymore because I dipped in the Army for a little while. And I got cups confused one day while working in the arms room. And yeah, I will never dip again. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, for that matter, call Stacy and ask why she's not in the shop. But she'll be here Friday.
Yeah.
Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on your 10-minute timer.
Stacy only needs to be told once. Ezekiel, I am a little surprised you haven't made a Damn It Rob t-shirt. QT stands for Quick Trip. I don't know if your state has a Sheets, but it's similar to that. It is a little bit similar to Cumberland Farms. It's a little bit similar to Wawa. It is a higher end gas station. Yeah. I especially enjoy their 44-ounce cups.
The higher end gas station, but not quite Buc-ee's.
No, it's nowhere near Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is the gas station to end all gas stations.
How did you ever come up with Pledge as a release? These are the things that blow my mind. I've been watching you for years, and you still amaze me.
I keep trying new things. I am an idiot because just because something works, it doesn't mean I do it the second time.
Like, oh, that worked great. I'll try something new next time.
Which
Which has led to some good discoveries and to some amazing failures. Well, that's good.
Story on that was one of Alan's videos on making
Alexa, stop.
prop blood that he did years ago. I watched and decided that I would mess with it. And took one thing that he did and learned how to make my own.
Which is the whole point.
Yep. One thing that he did and changed one little tiny thing. And I really enjoy that. Tends to work well.
Quick Trip started in Sparta, Wisconsin. I kind of want to drive to Sparta, Wisconsin. Just get out, go to the first person, kick him in the chest, yell, "This is Sparta," get back in your car and drive home.
Worth the drive.
I think so. I mean, they have to like be ready for it.
Wonder how many people have been arrested for that.
At least 7. Well, I'll be the first sober person. I'll be the first sober person arrested for kicking someone and yelling, "This is Sparta."
It's a nightly drunken thing.
If I had to have a cool covert nickname, it would be Fat Leonidas. Pro scapegoat. You can totally roll a cat. See, now I missed that part of the conversation because I was talking about Sparta. I'm a little sad. I don't know what I missed.
There's a shop there that makes large fiberglass statues.
Cool.
Leonidas? Probably. One of those large fiberglass statues in Quinlan, the nearest town to here, of Elvis,
Yes.
standing in the window. He looks like he's carrying a gun, so it's kind
Right.
of unnerving.
3-eyed scapegoat. Marshmallow, we are more than happy to entertain and educate you. I have another order for a pair of hands that are painted Frankenstein style, so I just thought I would base those out in black while I was waiting on that to dry.
I know these hands.
And this is a black wash, a little more than it is a black paint, as you guys can see, but it's going to get the job done and getting all my creases like I want. Why are you leaking all of a sudden?
I'm breaking your pose again.
Apparently so. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Bleh. They're talking about Pride and Prejudice. I think. Okay. That's still got the way. Yes, Pledge does work releasing clay from silicone. It does. It does. I once caught a fish this big.
Probably wasn't even on camera.
I know. I don't like to lie on camera. Which I have. I caught a 6 foot
Like-
gar.
You caught a fish that big.
Yeah, it's very thrilling to be reeling a fish and thinking, boy, this thing could really injure me if I screw this up.
You need to go fishing again.
I'm going soon. Today's weather had it right out. Well,
Yeah.
Rue loves overspray. Loves it.
AC facing over.
Like normal, I'm going to do a second layer of glue on the hood. Stacy, what you probably don't know is that I actually quote Pride and Prejudice quite a bit. Every now and then I will say, a lively tune, I am moved to dance, which I believe Mr. Bennett says. And then I also say, when someone is asking me for something or demanding I do something for them, I say, and yet I am unmoved. So, it happens. The first layer kind of closed up all those pores, and now the second layer will stick better and allow them to glue together. We have some Circle K's down here.
Yeah, Coochie's a lot like Circle K. Circle K is pretty similar.
The Circle K's in Florida were more ghetto.
Yeah, but not here.
They were closer to a Highs up north.
Circle K's here are actually like Circle K's in Phoenix are ghetto.
In the ghetto.
But here they're not bad.
There's one thing she don't need, another little hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. Little night of desperation, As it goes, steal the car, tries to run, but he don't get it. I enjoy my gas station beverages.
Connoisseur of sorts.
If I had to pick a favorite chain, it would be Wawa. Buc-ee's is better than Wawa, but Wawa is it's a good number 2.
I was gonna say like Bucky's like can't even doesn't have competition.
Bucky's is like Target and a truck stop had a baby. A happy baby with all of its teeth.
Yeah,
Not like those other babies.
those babies are sad. Sad babies. I love it when I find the perfect tool for something. So, digging that little shelf in around the eyes, perfect tool. So I had kind of funny moment over at Zach's, giving him his birthday presents.
Yeah.
So I gave him one of my Necronomicon mask blanks that I just did,
Yeah.
and gave it to him, and we'd gotten there Saturday night. I gave him the thing and a couple other presents. He never even really looked at it, and kind of just was like, oh well, he wasn't very excited about that. Oh well, can't win them all when you're getting presents for people.
Okay.
But went all through Saturday night, hanging out there. We spent the night over there, and then right before leaving, I'm packing up my stuff, and I pick up the blank, and I'm man, I'm excited to see how you paint this thing. Throw it down, and he goes, oh, that's for me? Somehow he had completely missed that was a present for him, and I wasn't just taking it there to show it off. Hello, Shannon.
Now we have a wife.
Hello, look, I brought you puppies.
Hi, puppies. I want the puppies.
Just for you.
Puppy, 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 puppy.
I have, yes.
And I am now covered in drool.
I really like Easy Flow 60 from Bitty Mold Supply. It is. There was a demo video they did online that sold me on the Easy Flow 120 and Easy Flow 60, and it's where he takes a head that he just cast out of Easy Flow and he bounces it off the concrete. I'm like, okay, that's the resin I'll use. It's good stuff. All of our accessories, necklaces that we do they're all Easy Flow. I have lots of Easy Flow around here.
Hi, how are you? Besides, candy clay.
You
I'm
could.
not sure where you,
I think I'm caught up-ish, although there's a little bit before what I just talked about.
did you see Lisa's what texture you're going to choose for the hornet's eyes?
A what?
What texture are you going to choose for the hornet's eyes?
I think I may put a mesh texture into them, but I think pretty much everything about them is just going to be done in paint. For the
Okay.
most part. I think I might get some mesh and just lay it into them and pull it out, but
They have some good stuff for
make
that
it
up
a
there.
little- Yeah, just to make it a little easier on paint, but
Do we have any Coke Zeros here? Did Strawberry bring you like a case yesterday?
Would you like a Coke Zero?
I know he did, so I left his car. So I read him out. I always,
always nice.
hello.
Also, it could be colder. I would put it in a while.
Ooh. Did I bring in my beer? Oh, step in. Oh, you go get it.
So I love the thumbnail, very 90s haunted house. How to DVD pose.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Mixing up a little more black paint because I had to sprays it.
Oh, thank you, Warren. It was good dinner. It was a good dinner. Gotta keep him fueled.
She likes fuel
Well,
and food.
I I knew he was gonna fall over pretty soon. I was trying to time it. What is the mixture for wash?
It is my, well, okay, now that was a water-based wash. And so that was pretty much 50-50 my latex mask base paint with, water. Normally distilled water.
It's good to see you, Rue. You doing good?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Happy to be here. Working away.
Alan, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Maryland, Harford County, Maryland, Aberdeen, Haverty Grace area, right near the Aberdeen Proving Ground.
Is Will? Have we seen Will on?
Yes, Will is on.
Okay.
I mistakenly thought that Stanley was getting this mask, but this is Will's mask.
Will's got the pumpkin.
And
Stanley has the Frankenstein hands.
Yes. I just make what you tell me.
That's why I keep tabs on you. Ezekiel says he hasn't grown up.
That's very true.
And I keep tabs on you to make sure you're making what you're supposed to make. Except Wednesday nights when you get to make something.
When these guys tell me what to make, it's completely different.
And then making a murder.
Hashtag murder hornet.
Murder.
Said you would keep in line, Shannon. There you are, Will. Very good. Okay. Just making sure you were here so you can see your baby being born.
What's important is that you line up the eyes and start gluing from there.
So what are you doing right now? Cutting.
So, because of the head form these guys are made on, they, in order to go all the way down to the table, it's not exactly head shaped. If you look, there's a lot of extra space up here. And I don't want that flopping around, so what I normally do when I make it a sock mask
is I go ahead and I glue it all down. And I do a little bit of cutting and rearranging, and you'd never even know that it wasn't all one piece. This mask is especially good for that because it has this leaf bit on top, and that leaf bit can glue right back down over top of things, and you don't even notice, it's different at all.
Where do you buy your head socks from?
China, and I buy them like 100 at a time. So they are on Amazon. You can find them on Amazon, and they're only like $4 or $5 a piece on Amazon.
Rue, are you a Texan?
I am from northern Minnesota. Now, I spent 10 years in the military, so I kind of went everywhere. And I kind of was a bit of a traveler before I joined the military, so lived a lot of places. But I grew up in northern Minnesota.
DJ Styles says, I'm on that little peninsula at the very southern end of South Jersey. Have you ever been to Wildwood?
Yes.
Wildwood, BJ.
Yes, I have been to Wildwood, New Jersey.
It's going to be a super cool mask.
I also, there's a haunted house on the pier out that way. I think it's in Cherry Hill though, called Dracula's Castle, which is, I mentioned earlier, someone was talking about dark rides with actors that scur purple.
Thank you for your service, Rue.
Thank you. Good to be appreciated.
It's been a while since okay, this is the topic. That was Michael Lasterson. John C. says, I used to go fishing and crabbing on the pier. Brigantine Beach.
Yes. Yes. Remember that time that we put glue on something and waited for it to dry? This time it's just like that time.
No, weird, right?
Totally weird.
Almost deja vu.
What's that, honey? Well, the last time I was waiting, I actually painted up the hands. I got them based out a little bit. So we're starting on those. I'm actually prepping because I'm not going to use the wash now. I'm going to go to black paint.
Look at that cat go. Thanks, Alan, for teaching. I've learned a lot.
Thank you for watching and hanging out.
We've added more swag suggestions on the Cooper page. Oh dear.
I told them I had access to other things.
Oh my. Thank you, Scott. I'll check it out. Dave, shipping to the UK, it really depends on what it is that we're sending you. And I mean, it can be a shirt, it can be an enormous costume. So what we do is we take the finished product to the post office, and then we have it weighed to see what it's going to cost. And then whatever you have paid already in your order, we'll subtract from that cost, and we just send a PayPal invoice to make up the difference. So it's an extra step, but that's how we do international shipping. It is possible. It just takes an extra step because we send such unusual things through the mail, so that we can make sure. So that's how we
That's
can
not
do
a
it.
sound.
Warren says, I'm a Jersey boy too. I grew up in Howell near Six Flags. Great adventure. Lived in New England for the past 30 years. James Minnick says hello, and so does Travis C.
I was north enough in Maryland where I would drive to my friend's house to pick him up in Delaware. He lived 20 minutes away from me, but to get there, I had to drive through Pennsylvania and part of New Jersey.
That always blows my mind about the East Coast.
That you can drive through so many states.
Yep.
Me too.
Just like, but like,
No, me too. The first time Alan took me to Maryland, he took me driving one afternoon just to see, because I've never been to Maryland. And he drove me through Delaware to, where else did we go? Philadelphia? No, where did we go? Delaware to, he took me through like 3 states.
Delaware, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
And so like in 40 minutes I moved through 3 states, and my jaw was just hanging open. He just shook his head at me like, yeah, whatever. But I was like, wow, it's amazing. It is amazing. Ezekiel says, hopefully none of my suggestions have been offensive with the t-shirts. I have to remember that this is Alan's brand.
Not at all, sir. I don't know how I feel about orangutan butter, but you know, who does know how they feel about orangutan butter?
DJ Styles says our boardwalk lost most of its dark rides. We do still have a haunted ghost ship still up, but we did have a great history of haunted dark rides at the Wildwood Boardwalk.
Yes, you did.
Christine says, how about a puppy with each mask purchase? I will buy all your masks if that's your swag. That would be some serious shipping, Christine. We can make it happen.
And you would go broke. These puppies eat.
Oh my goodness. The only problem, Christine, is that they're so bonded to each other that you just have to take all 3. Can't take one, and they'll start crying. When we got Bella spayed, the boys were so upset she wasn't there until we got her back that afternoon. Then when we took the boys to get neutered, she was inconsolable until they got back. So they're all kind of a package deal now. Most of us in southern New Jersey are immigrants from Philly, including me, says DJ Styles.
I have quite a few tattoo artist friends from that area. Wildwood, South Jersey. Oops.
Christine says puppies in general. She doesn't want to separate the boo flukes. Well, okay.
Earlier today, I might have sent you the boo flukes.
They were
Like,
nuts.
here's your bus ticket, kids. Get on out of here.
Oh my gosh, they were crazy. Born and grew up in Camden, New Jersey, now in St. Louis with the darkness. This is Steve Bishop.
Very cool.
Ezekiel says, Texas kind of sounds like Queensland or Australia. Lots of people escape from other states.
Yeah.
Dave Offlinger says, just got home from vacation. We went to Ocean City, Maryland. Stayed right on the boardwalk.
So 1992, my summer job every year was I was a lifeguard. 1992, I had to pull a hypodermic needle out of someone's foot because in Ocean City, Maryland, they were wading in the water and they stepped on a hypodermic needle. They had an issue where medical waste was washing up from somewhere in the 90s. Most of the 90s. I'm sure it's better now.
Where did you go to the BWCA when you were in Maryland?
when you were when I was in Minnesota.
Minnesota, my apologies.
BWCA. I don't know what the BWCA is, so probably not.
Travis C. was born and raised in Texas. Lisa says no black base for the Jack.
No, doing black underneath of them, it just makes them too dull. So these guys get like a dark brown wash after the fact that I will do with the alcohol-based inks. He's going to get a rub out. And doing the orange right on top of the latex actually does really well for the brightness.
PJ Styles was also a lifeguard. Trevor C., I was a lifeguard in 2018, and the only save I had was a girl who couldn't swim that jumped the board.
Mm. Yeah, I did that for many summers.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
I did it. You gotta do it.
I've been a transplanter long enough that even I know.
It's a reaction. It's like at Trans World every morning, Timber would come by and just yell right there by our booth, and we'd all stop and clap every time. Ross is pleased. He got the reaction he wanted. Yes, and Rick's flash.
Cheney, no. It's been pouring rain all day, so the doggos have been inside all day doing that dreary, sleepy, rainy day thing. And now they are awake, but it's, you know, they don't want to go outside, so they just want to tear up stuff here in the shop. Awesome, said no one ever.
Ezekiel says, it used to be a lifesaver on the Gold Coast. I reckon I pulled at least 100 Asian people from this surf drowning. I do like the swimming in crocodile waters too.
Yeah, they're just waiting to punch one.
BWCA stands for the Boundary Waters Canoe
Oh,
Area.
yes.
Coast Fishing.
Yeah, I actually grew up at the very end of Boundary Waters. I haven't lived in Minnesota in a long time. But yeah, I'm from Bemidji, so
So from where?
Bemidji.
Bemidji.
Spell it, I dare you.
B. Good so far?
Good so
100%
far.
accuracy? I.
Nope.
Oh. I quit.
Bemidji.
Okay.
Bemidji, Minnesota. And much to, I was telling our friend Amy, where I grew up the other day, much to her surprise, it was on the map when she was looking it up on the map.
Didn't sound like it was on the
But
Okay.
where is it?
Now I need to do all of this, and I'll do all this in green. Well, yeah. Green. I needs it.
Nothing says Halloween like that mask.
That is exactly my hope.
Stephen Bishop says made a pumpkin scarecrow as a Halloween prop this year on Halloween, switching him out with any costume. Any suggestion on roots, on body planting, pool noodles, height and selection?
Yes. Are you scared of advanced techniques, or are you comfortable with advanced techniques? I think that's a fair question, because there's some easy techniques that I can tell you, or there's some advanced techniques. But I think that it depends on which one you're more comfortable with.
What's he got?
Toilet paper roll.
No.
No, I'm pretty sure that's toilet paper roll.
Okay. You can have that.
I had 4 years of oceanography, marine biology, marine environmental, and only had one job ever in the field, testing saline. Is there any good pumpkin-headed movie monsters besides Pumpkinhead?
What?
Any good pumpkin-headed movie monsters besides Pumpkinhead? And
Pumpkinhead didn't really even have a pumpkin head.
It was pumpkin-ish. Sam from Trick or Treat for sure.
Ooh, my favorite.
That's a good one. And then
I had to make sure I wasn't wearing the same shirt right now.
yeah, there's not a lot.
Rob O'Brien says, Rue, I saw that.
What did you
I
do?
don't know what he's talking
Way to
about.
play
They're gonna tell me.
Always watching.
They're gonna tell me. What'd you do?
I may have fluffed baby powder in your general direction.
I see. I see.
Rob O'Brien says, always watching. Sam from
Nothing
Trick or
he
Treat
wouldn't have
says,
done to me. I did nothing he wouldn't have done to me.
Can you bring the camera down a little bit closer to you? There you go. Wow.
You know why I sneezed?
Baby powder. Weird.
Can't imagine why that happened. Okay. In that case, Steve Bishop, what I would do is get yourself some soft AB foam, okay? Soft AB foam. A flexible AB foam. The TC 266 that I use to fill the mask is perfect for this. And you mix it up and you put it into you mix it up very quickly and you put it in like a piping bag and you pipe yourself out some roots. And they look real, do it on a contractor's garbage bag. They look great. They're durable. And you could even just do it right on top of whatever shirt or whatever it is. And they are flexible enough to where they're gonna, they'll take paint and they look really nice.
Wet the garbage bag first so you can peel it off.
No, that foam doesn't stick to it.
I don't know.
You're thinking of
I'm thinking of Loctite.
Loctite foam, yes. Slightly different animal. And Loctite foam was my non-advanced technique.
Ah.
Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9 p.m.
Alexa, do you know where your children are?
I'm part of the Amazon family.
Close enough.
So, no. That's what that means.
Mostly in the NSA.
Philip Earl said,
Why, thank you. If we were in a bar in the 40s, Gene Wilder would have shot you for being a spy.
It's looking good, homeboy, looking good.
Why, thank you.
Full foam-filled costume for Bigfoot this coming winter. You might have to buy one of yours to take home with me, Alan says. DJ Styles.
Cool. Yeah. I like me some Bigfoot.
Dead End Yard Haunt says, I did piping roots with Home Depot fencing post foam, and it looked good.
Yep. Exactly. Same kind of deal.
Can we get a quick look at beast mode? Oh, bees mode.
Beast mode?
Rube, grab this camera and show it to him.
Sure. You plugged in? Unplug you. It's easier that way.
This position, it does look like a split screen facade, and I agree.
Get the 3/4 view, front view, down to the mandibles, what I've been kind of roughing in here right now. This is one of those masks that where the paint is really going to make a big deal on it too. So. There you go. I'm going to give you back to Alan. And now, back to our sponsor.
And now it's time for a breakdown. Yeah, we're going to get it. We're going to get it. Whoa, whoa. Warren says, nice symmetry, Rue. Good work.
Thank you.
Well, it's awesome. DJ Styles says 8 foot tall, massive, and scary as hell.
Yeah.
Looks great, Rue. The Hornet is so fun. Nice, Rue. Rue, how long have you been sculpting?
What time is it?
I've been sculpting pretty much all my life.
Do you ever have a problem with sock, head, or suits sticking to foam when you contact center?
I don't build them on foam. Sticking to forms with contact cement. No, I don't. You just peel them off. I don't ever put contact cement on the head form and then the hood. I always do the hood first. So it's not like it's going to saturate all the way through and get a great bond. And unless you put it on both sides, it's a pretty temporary bond. So it peels off pretty easy. Contact cement only on one side is not a permanent bond, nor is it intended to be.
Rue, honeycomb eyes would be perfect.
Yep. I'm looking for material, but I don't think we have anything that's
Go upstairs.
honeycomb.
Go upstairs. Take a look.
Is there?
Yeah, check. There's a whole thing full of netting and whatnot.
Aha! Well, fine.
Steve Bishop says, if not there, have it check the basement.
Yeah.
Salem's Lot or Pet Cemetery?
Salem's Lot.
I have a silicone honeycomb trivet that would probably be perfect texture for eyes. Silicone honeycomb trivet. That's a cool idea. Christopher Lee or Vincent Price?
Oh.
Scott,
That's an incredibly tough one.
Scott.
But I would probably go with Vincent Price.
But it hurt.
It hurt.
It hurt to
Yeah.
say it. You're back.
before you go on the eye, grab a chunk of clay, press it in, and see what it does.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Styles says, I can watch this all night and have many, many times, and I have many, many times. I love the live streaming. It's so cool. It's from DJ Styles.
Well, thank you so much. Very cool. I'm going to be in the shop working, and right now, a lot of people are fighting being bored at home. That's what they're fighting. And if we can be live a little more and help with some of that, great.
Oh, this was a poncho at one point.
Does Vincent Price get credit for, or lose credit for Thriller?
He gets credit.
I would agree, but it is a razor close for me too, as far as between Mrs. Scott, between Vincent Price and Christopher Lee.
Oh, it is. It's very close.
Have you ever asked Alexa to tell you a joke?
I have.
Bella
That's
or
fair.
Boris? That's just me. What's
No,
up?
I mean, that one is actually easier. I would say Boris Karloff.
You didn't mean the dogs.
I know.
Hope you didn't mean the dogs.
Yeah, I would say Boris Karloff. He did a good bit to further the art of being a genre actor, and Bell did what he did well, but he did not do as much, I don't think, as Boris Karloff did.
Stephen Bishop says own makeup.
Why would he say that?
Vampires for the Sims. DJ Styles says, that's exactly what I'm doing as well with my mixed shows. I can share my Mixcloud link, but won't without your permission.
You can share whatever you want, but you'll have to send it to one of the moderators because you can't post a link in a live chat. Send it to a moderator. They'll quickly make sure it's not like, I don't know, giraffe porn or whatever, and then they'll post it. He did some of his own makeup. A lot of his credit is Jack Pierce. Okay, so I now have the bones of this painted. And it looks a little silly right now until I get that wash on there.
Now, distinct feeling. This stuff's gonna be pretty hard.
Go on and tell him another shirt idea. Giraffe porn.
No, not.
Said no, just no.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ezekiel. Listen,
What did I miss?
if Ezekiel has become the moral compass of this group, we may have some problems, all right?
I may have finished off an entire bag of Tim Tams earlier today, by the way.
What? What flavor?
Caramel.
Tim's
Warren said we're doomed.
We're doomed, that's right.
Oh, my goodness.
You are. I'm just saying. You know.
DJ Style says, oh, nice to know, just would really like your input on my format. I run a classic disco show with really cool videos. I will share to you with your feedback.
Okay, that sounds fine. Cool. Neat.
Ian Cash says, Bella could never read Dr. Seuss.
No, you know, Boris Karloff had range. He was an acting force to be reckoned with. I mean, he could have done so much more than what he did.
You've already opened up the beast mode.
Yeah.
Did it go all right?
Yep. Went great.
Great.
Honey, would you tell a quick story?
Oh, gosh. Pretty quick.
This guy's looking good. I haven't made one of these in a while, and we've sold a lot of blanks for the pumpkin, but I haven't gotten to paint one up. And I like. You're right. It's like painting Halloween. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Story time. And yes, it has nudity in it.
Woohoo!
Let's see, from 2005 to 2012, we had an outdoor attraction called the Trail of Terror, and it was at Scream's Halloween Park. This was an area that we had, which was the back of a long alley of shops at the Renaissance Festival. And we would build this show every year, and I've said this before, so those of you who tune in frequently have heard me say it. We would build the show every year. We would give it a new theme every year because we were insane. And you had to build it and tear it down. So build would begin at the end of July in Texas, and then build would have to finish. We would have to finish it, and then we would have to tear it down as soon as the show is over. And it was one heck of a lesson in being scrappy and resourceful and surviving Texas heat. It was amazing, but it did build an incredible team because of it, and that was actually a team that we kept together till we closed our little show in 2016, and so just an awesome team. But that's not the nudity. One night, we did one year, the first year we did our black and white salute, which was an entire black and white show to the classic Universal monsters. And we had a catwalk up at the top where our friend Scott, who is also one of Alan's haunt partners, who was when we had this show, was up. He did not act, but he was up at the top of this catwalk, and he ran several. He was like master control. He did levers and air cannons and everything, and he's incredibly meticulously organized person to begin with, but he's also able to move very quickly in the dark, and he would hit all the levers, push all the buttons, keep an eye on things. He had just several jobs, and I still don't know how he did it all. One year, that year that is, I believe it was 2012, or no, sorry, 2008 was the first year we did the black and white. Everyone's a black and white character. He was the Phantom of the Opera. And so he was up at the top of the catwalk running back and forth. It looked amazing because he had the full Phantom of the Opera costume on, including the cape.
And he would run back and forth on top of the catwalk doing what he did. So if you saw him, you saw the Phantom of the Opera, and it worked really well because of that. It was also very, nostalgic, and people loved it. But you had to catch a glimpse of it because Scott is very fast. I was a greeter. I was at the front of the house, and one of our actors came running to the front of the house and said, "The Phantom of the Opera is naked." And I said, "What?" He said, "The Phantom of the Opera is naked." Of course, you had to run back there and see. Scott, to this day, will deny this. He will absolutely deny it. But the actor, and I'm inclined to believe the actor because of all the many things Scott is, he's also very pranker. He's very good at pranks. Somehow took off his entire costume, put his cape back on, kept the mask on, put the cape on, waited for this actor, who's our, we're all buddies, to come by and flashed him. And then, before we all came running back there to see him, because, we're going to come back there, he got completely dressed again. Now, how did he do it? I don't know. Did he do it? I absolutely believe it. Anyone who's watching who knows our friend Scott will believe me as well. Most of you probably don't know Scott. But it's the kind of prank he would pull. And to this day, he denies it. But I absolutely believe the actor did it. My only concern was the rest of the night he was so fast at pulling this off. Surely he wouldn't get crazy up there and flash a patron, which he did not because, he's a professional. But the show hadn't started yet. And so Scott was up there flashing our actors. This was this was literally something that I did not tell Alan until a considerable time later, because at the time Alan was the manager of Screams, and so he was all over the park, and I did not want him to know that this had been going on and him to worry. And Scott, being Scott, knew that this would happen, would not also knew this, so he was he was very good to keep this quiet. So I don't know if you guys have ever had one of your actors flash the other actors. My opinion is that as long as they're flashing each other and they're not flashing the patrons, all's fair in love and flashing. And so that was
All's fair in love and flashing.
all's fair in love and flashing. But I mean, these are the pranks, and any of you who are haunt actors are going to back me up when I say that the shenanigans that happen that patrons will never see are
way funny.
are way crazier than the shenanigans that you think that you're going to do with the patrons.
You don't want it.
This is literally the things that happen backstage are going to be crazier than anything that you're going to do professionally. So that is the end of story night.
I have all of them.
Rue's got help. Alan's back. Keep your clothes on, and back to you, Alan.
Rue, what are you doing?
Starching this fabric
Oh, hi.
so I can get some better impressions from it.
Face gets better impression.
Well,
All's fair in love and blocking. Here's the shit right there. Tell me about the story of Scott Brown and how to this day he denies it.
I knew exactly what story you were talking about. Scott Brown is also a magician,
Yes.
and he will not give away his secrets.
Yes, he's an illusionist. You can't. He pulls things off. I don't know how he does it. He's never going to tell you, so. Warren says there's always both planned and unexpected nudity in haunting. Why is that? I don't understand why that is, but it's true. The old disappearing pants trick. Yeah, but see, this Ezekiel, he was wearing a full tuxedo up there. And we still don't know how he did it. But he did it. I absolutely believe he did it.
have a bag that would help him out.
Me?
Yeah. But I don't know where it is.
Meh. Spray paint.
What color?
Doesn't matter. Clear gloss? Color doesn't matter when you're just making fabric stick. Sure.
You guys should stream these behind the scenes funny stuff, or at least video record some of it. DJ Styles, I gotta tell you, the best, I don't know if you work a lot, but I think the best times are behind the scenes. And I think that when you are, you have great memories of scaring people and reactions and such, but the behind the scenes fun it's like your own special show. And it just could not be more fun. That's where all my memories are.
When I'm training actors at different haunted houses, one of the things I always end up saying is, you work a haunted house for one season, you'll get a lifetime of stories. And that is really, really true.
It is totally true. Working haunted houses for a lifetime,
Yeah.
you'll have more stories than you know what to do with. And then you won't be able to think of them on camera.
Or tell them
You know,
because of
or tell half of them.
restrictions and such.
Coolest thing happened, but I can't tell you anything about it. Hey, Alan, don't sit on this bench. You have that chair. You're good.
I'm actually kind of just waiting on this guy to dry so I can do the alcohol rub out technique. Which part of the fabric do you like?
I like this here.
Okay. Why don't you just cut that piece out?
Because I was experimenting with the other pieces too.
Okay.
Did you work in the haunted house industry between 1995 and 2015 and were exposed to nudity? If so, you might be entitled for compensation. Call 1-800-555-HOPP.
That is more true than you know.
It's so true. The old alcohol rub technique, another behind the scenes story we can't discuss. Oh, Brandon.
Yeah.
Alcohol rub-off technique. If
How
that's
did-
what we're calling it now.
How did your D&D game go, Brandon?
DJ Styles says, yeah, I'm older now, and I missed a lot of great opportunities to work once. I've only just started getting involved over the past few years. DJing always got in my way.
Yeah, you kind of have to pick one passion sometimes and see it through. I happen to pick haunting.
Brandon says his game went great until he got tornado warnings and it died.
Oh, noes. So, do you want this mask to should I do a brown wash on it or a black wash? I normally do a brown wash, but I also could do a black wash. I mean, both would look good, I think. The brown looks a little more antique, and the black looks a little more grungy, in my opinion. So do you want old world, or do you want grungy grungy?
Will gets to decide.
Will decides.
Will decides. Still did a lot of artwork in the years, but never really got to see the payoff of my creativity. It's just like this one. Greenhouse homes. Any suggestions for making a corn alcohol still cup?
It's just a collection of shapes. So get things that are the right shape. Could be an office garbage can. It could be a big funnel. It could be some copper tubing. But get things that are the right shape. Look at some pictures of them, and then put them together, and then go ahead and paint them all. Yeah, and paint it all copper, and then age it. I mean, and then you're good to go. They're actually pretty easy. Just look at the shapes of them.
Ezekiel says, has anyone checked on Psycho Axeman? He doesn't seem like he's been on for a few minutes.
He was actually on earlier today.
Oh, really?
He was on for a little while, I think, on my first one.
Good. Trying to raise Will.
I'm going to decide for him, and I think it's going to go black. Once you go black, you have made a choice. What?
Heart stop. Will, okay, Will's here. Will, did you hear the question Alan just asked? We need you to make a decision. Alan, can you state the question?
Do you want to do a black wash on this, ink wash, or a brown ink wash? Brown is a little more vintage looking, and the black is a little more bolder and a little grungier. Which would you prefer?
While he's deciding, Rue's having too much fun with the heat gun. Maybe he isn't.
Well, this is one that rattles. He's just trying to use it till it shoots a fireball.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Did totally work though. I took a very, very floppy, easy to squish fabric, covered it with a bunch of spray paint, and now it's kind of crunchy. Now we'll get much better impressions from it.
So Will, black or brown for the wash? I have done both. They both work well. If I were going to advise you on such things, I would push you towards the direction of black.
Brandon D says, great success. Now you have the compound eye figured out.
Maybe. We'll see.
That
nice.
did not work at all. Well, I mean, it's kind of there.
You need a tool with a rounded handle, so that once you put it on, you can kind of
Rub it
buff
in.
it in.
Buff it in.
Buff it in, buff it in. The remote will work actually go well for that.
Yeah.
I don't think I like them. Like, I know what they are, and they're pretty. We have them on our property actually.
Velvet ants? Ooh. Yow.
Will, we didn't see your answer. We can see you. We Did not see an answer from you. I saw, sorry I'm late. You said, nope, you did not hear the question. And repeated the question and.
Yeah, I've asked it a couple times. It's simple. Brown wash or black wash on this? Brown is more vintage. Black is a little grungier.
Brandon says, I think he doesn't want a wash.
Well,
That's what Brandon said.
I'm gonna make him type that out if that's what he wants, because
Hear from Carrie, 'cause I wrote
No.
black like 3 times.
black did not show up.
No, it didn't show up well.
No, it's not on my feed at all.
You don't see it, but.
Like I'm scrolling through comments right now. That's so weird.
But we
That's
got
weird.
it. Brandon. He said, just kidding. He says, black. The black wash.
Okay.
I also don't see it, so.
Yeah, no, the maybe one word comments don't show up.
No, they show up. Everything shows up.
Yeah, because he said note, and that was a one word comment. Weird.
Did you ever see a mantis eye up close? Those are freaky.
Yes, I have.
DJ Stone says, and over the past few years, you have helped in so many ways of creative ideas. In the years of watching your videos, I want to thank you so much for all the help you've done.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I could help. Anything to make the world a little more Halloweeny is cool.
If you do a Skeletor to go with Beast Mode, then you and Alan would be masters of the universe. John C.
What you can't see is that I'm flexing.
Yes, you are.
Somebody else is trying for a Skeletor already. And I've already done a Spike mask. Or my interpretations of Spike Ward.
Is
But
there
I might
a-
end up with a buzz off. Who
Is
knows?
there a season of the witch option with a hex and a video to watch while wearing the pumpkin? If you manage to scoop up a whirligig beetle, take note of their 2 sets of eyes. One for above water and one for below. I will never touch them.
They are messed up. Water boatman is my favorite. Like, hands down, that's my favorite bug. Because they big and they nasty. We would take,
Oh, there we go.
like a big drink cup and put it over top of them and just watch the cup walk around the room.
Okay, Warren says, Will's answers were not appearing in top chat, but it did in the full live chat, and I just switched to full live chat at the top, and he's right. For whatever reason, it's top chat, and I didn't know. So thank you, Warren. I see you, Will. Not sure why that. I do know now why it's top chat. For whatever reason, it filters out. But now we have live chat on, and we got you. So thank you. We're good. Oh, Brandon, you're freaking me out. Also, gently give them a pat or a squeeze. Many have scent glands. Some are pleasant, and some smell of strawberries. Others are foul and acrid. Brandon, no.
Brandon, do you have a girlfriend
Brandon, no.
or a boyfriend?
This is the worst.
I think you need to spend a little bit. He's an entomologist.
He's an entomologist.
You need to spend a little time
Oh, okay.
away from the bugs, buddy.
Okay, no, that's different. And that's different, Brandon. Will's like, I was freaking out, like, black. We
But
got
yeah.
you, Will, you're good. Any chance over in your area they call the giant water bug?
Water boat.
Wow.
This was in Orlando. This was in Florida, where I would catch and see water boatmen all the time.
Which is funny because like we had them all the way up to Minnesota, and I've seen them in Phoenix. Like they're kind of all over the states kind of bug.
Rob says poking bugs for
But
science.
yes, last year.
Here in St. Louis, we have a stink bug explosion every fall. Oh,
Nope,
no.
don't like those.
It's all fun and games till your stink bug explodes. You gotta-
Sounded very Carl.
Then you gotta lance it and swab it. Yeah, I don't necessarily want him to slow down his bug facts.
They're neat.
I think they're the closest things we have to aliens right in front of us. They're such a different. alien species. You know, that and deep sea creatures.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
I like it. That definitely wasn't everyone's glasses getting thrown on the floor. It's okay, he doesn't like them anyway.
Carl is not dead, he just smells that way. Alan just joined the Still Beast Facebook page. Would love your critique on some of my projects. This is Stephen Bishop. TJ Styles, have you ever created a costume for an underwater creature that you could use scuba gear under the costume, like the creature from the Black Lagoon?
Yeah. Actually, the Creature Black Lagoon mask that I have right here now, I sculpted it with a pair of swimming goggles on the bust, so they pop through like the eyes. And Universal had several failures of having the creature from the Black Lagoon be in their center lagoon for different things. So I was trying to kind of crack that code. The lagoon just disintegrated the suit way too fast. Don't want to alarm you, but this is looking very sexy.
A roach can live for 2 weeks without its head. Gross! Why are you doing this? Oh man, Brandon, I'm figuring the common names get mixed up, like the huge yellow and black spiders being called banana spiders here in the USA. That's true. Those are beautiful.
We call them zipper spiders.
I call them banana spiders.
Call them garden orb spiders.
What's that?
But I call them garden orb spiders.
But in Brazil, the most common spider to hang out in bananas is the wandering spider, which is aggressive. Very painful bites. It causes painful erections in men. Are you kidding me, Brandon?
Nope.
Nope. Paraplegia.
And our banana spider will never make its web in a banana tree and couldn't do much if you wanted it.
Much to you if it
Much
wanted.
to you if it wanted. Brandon, this is rather fascinating.
That's not true. I know of a person who was knocked out by a banana spider.
No, our banana spider, aka orb weaver spiders, or zipper spiders, what we call them.
Yeah.
Can't do much.
Because
That's what he said.
because they walked their face into its web, and then they turned to run away as fast as they could.
Turned into a
And
ninja.
they tripped over something and fell into a tree, face first. And I laughed, and I laughed, and I laughed.
Oh my God.
I'm sure somebody helped them up.
We used to have those really bad down at that other home that I worked at. Like, all over the place. I have walked into those face first, spider face first, into the middle of my face before.
They're a beautiful spider. I like the spider.
Oh,
We
that's-
had a big one on our
so
date
much fun.
last year, and they were lovely.
Make sure your directions
Trying
are
to
the
get the
same.
spider to bite on the banana.
Baby.
And people are worried about murder hornets. Never crush a roach. Don't worry. They have a habit to make webs and head hike from low-hanging branches. Spider dance, friendly neighborhood spider dance.
Yep.
I've always wanted to try something like that, only different creature for underwater costumes. And I've always wondered what the scuba gear looked like under the Black Lagoon creature.
I don't think Raku had any scuba gear. He was just an Olympic swimmer.
Yeah.
He was an Olympic swimmer. He were good.
I like your mask, Alan. It looks good tonight.
Thank you.
Will has posted some heart eye emojis. I think he's pleased.
Yeah, he's turned out pretty good. There's a high level of pumpkin sexiness.
what is interesting about this mask is that that is a very old, I mean, how old is that mold? You were doing the
Ooh.
first half,
I think I sculpted him in 2009 or 10.
and he's just been sitting back there for the longest time, and then all of this happened this spring. And then we started to do the blanks just out of interest, and Alan poured one up, and he is our top selling blank. Really looks good.
Oh, it's nice. You should jack a camera and show him.
Bill says, you live in Australia, you spider dance every week.
Yeah, that's one thing about Australia that I don't even, I had a fear of spiders when I was like young, but
I'd like to have another.
nah,
Okay.
not so much. I went to Belize when I was 18, and when I was in Belize, I came across a whole lot
Speedrus.
of speeders. Big speeders. And they lived a foot away from my head. So, and that's what we ended up with for the eyes. I was doing eye pattern in it. I think it turned out pretty darn good.
That hornet looks wicked, very cool. Oh, that looks amazing, says
Getting
Michelle.
there.
Hi, Michelle. If you were to make a rear
Just
addition
about there
to
now.
that mask, what do you suppose you would do? Branches, vines, or brown out pumpkin leaves?
Yeah, I mean that's all good things. But I might just take a hula skirt and attach a hula skirt here, so he kind of had long hair that was raffia.
What did you use for
Good
the
work.
eyes, Ruth? I want to see what you used.
I used kind of a lace doily texture
He ruined my grandmother's doily that she made me before she died.
that had a giant hole cut out at the center of it and was
Yeah.
ratting. But yeah, it's kind of lace, and I used actually what I used was this pattern right here for it. But yeah, kind of had some different ones to it, so just played with it a little bit.
About the underwater scenes, really, I never knew that. I thought for sure some of those scenes they would have me use scuba gear. I learn something new every day. Nice job on the Hornet. Are we naming it yet?
We have not yet named it, but tonight would be the night.
Tonight's a good night for that.
Ezekiel says, I had one in a van drop down on me. It was bigger than my hand, and I have big hands. It took
Yes,
me
you do,
three-
sir.
It took me 3 big jumping stomps to squish
He's
it,
a big
to
guy.
extinguish him. That's awesome, sinister looking. It looks good. That brushing really gave it character. Grunge is a good word.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the black wash does. It adds grunge and it adds a lot of texture that you just wouldn't have had otherwise. I'm gonna paint him hornet colored.
So gross. It used to be okay with spiders until a bug recluse laid eggs in my boyfriend's back. That is the grossest thing I've ever heard. Blech! Good call on the black wash, says Scott Creighton. What colors will you be painting the Hornet?
Hornet colors. I'm gonna look at a murder hornet and paint him those colors. And then I'm gonna put on a bee costume and
He's totally not gonna match.
go
We're
hit
gonna
people. Go hit people with a foam bat, yell murder hornet, and run away.
The murder hornet colors are very orange, very burnt orange.
And we can spray paint the suit.
Oh, that's true.
Perfect for those bug eyes and creepy pumpkin mask. Very cool, says Paul Bennett.
Hey, thanks.
Man, that mask is amazing. How much? How much? Which one, DJ? You talking about the murder hornet or the pumpkin?
Yes.
That's what I like to hear.
It's so funny to me that pumpkin mask has been resurrected. It's a great look. A Corona Hornet 2020. Any drool on the pumpkin?
No drool has been requested.
Giant honey dipper like the Cheerios bee. Drool with pumpkin seeds.
Okay, so that is the pumpkin mask. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry all the way. So I just touch this up a little bit. I leave these a little bit muted, but I do touch up the leaves and stuff on top. Oh, I got to touch his neck up too. And then I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to gloss it. Because they have that nice natural waxiness to the outside of them.
Alan,
Yeah,
Will says bloody mouth.
that's right. He did want a bloody mouth on this. Yeah, well, let's prep some blood. Yeah.
I'm a little late in asking, but do you ever use the wet clay that you have used to make a mask again, or is it disposed of in some way?
You can use it. Normally I throw it away, but you can use it again.
It's your turn.
Will you be doing a pandemic bear?
No, I'm gonna do a mutant bear. That's it.
Hey, Alan.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty much there with this guy.
Let me see if there's more reference.
Oh, let's use the pumpkin
Hold on, I'm stopping the fire.
on the new.
What are you doing?
Water.
Oh, it actually is.
That's alcohol. That'd be bad.
That's your chair.
Okay. What's that, honey?
That's your chair.
Yeah, it's my chair. I may have melted a hole in the chair with the heat gun by accident.
How much is this mask?
So,
Styles works at a haunt that is on a farm. Go ahead.
yeah,
I
it's
just-
it's $100. It's $100 because it's a half mask with a sock on. Will turn into a head sock. So as soon as you turn a half mask into a full head, it becomes $100 like a full head. The easier to pull because it's a half mask is defeated by the extra materials of turning it into a sock mask. But
What would it look like if you put a yellow flicker LED for the eyes? Would that work?
it would look yellow and flickering. I have actually done that with this mask.
Alan, I thought you mentioned about foam heads and that hard half body, but I don't remember. You said that the hard half body's head is bigger than the foam head. Is that right? This is Paul Bennett.
Foam heads are really small, as far like wig heads. This is an average styrofoam wig head. If you can look at it, it's just not the size of a human. My head's big, but it's not this much bigger than a normal person. I'm not Paul Bunyan. So having this head be, you can't make something off of this and have it fit someone who is full size. Unless you really pad it out with clay, and that would be tough. Do you have visual reference?
Cameras off of you.
See how this comes out like a jacket? I'd like to see that happen. See those shapes?
Where it flares here.
Yeah, it comes out, it does one of these numbers and goes back.
Oh, okay. So like, and yeah, like it's got that little lip right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right around here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I was giving murder hornet advice, like you do. Blood. I just like to yell the word blood every now and then.
You know, like you do.
And I don't feel like I'm an excessive blooder, but I have been blooding things lately. I blame Psycho Axeman. Because he requested something really bloody. And then I did something else that was really bloody. It's a vicious cycle.
The Rankering says, by the way, salutations to the room. To the Mr. Hops,
Hola.
Mrs. Hops and Roo. I have that right. Sorry if I don't.
You do have it right. And is that the Rancor King, like the Rancor monster? That was one of my favorites when I was a kid. I'm like the only person who Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. That is not normally the case.
I would say Return of the Jedi is probably my favorite.
There's just too many monster scenes for me to
Yeah.
like any of the others as much.
I'm gonna water back a little bit. Thank you. Now that you're done putting out fires.
I stopped the fire from starting, which is completely different.
I like Empire because of the dramatic ending. Rancor King says, yes, sir. That's what his name is.
Hooray!
Picture of a Rancor.
Rancors are awesome.
What is the painting like on the outer mask?
I don't know what you mean. I will need more info.
What is the painting like on the outer mask? Rancor King, Return had me crying when Boba Fett died in such a lackluster way for such a seasoned hunter.
He didn't die.
Turns out.
He crawled out of the Sarlacc.
I feel the same way about Darth Maul.
Dengar saved him.
Oh, Darth Maul drove me nuts.
Darth Maul was killed like
I mean, he didn't die
He's
either,
awesome.
but
I like Darth Maul. But they
he
just killed him
didn't
because-
actually die either, so.
He got better.
Cut in half, but came back as half. Half.
Came back as Robo-Dart.
Robo-Darth. Which I've never actually seen that part, but
This is a year you might get very
Son of a-
busy selling masks to haunts because of the uncertainty of having haunts this year.
I think haunts are going to spend less this year. I think they're going to play it safe. All right. Will, we're about to blood. And do you want me to blood the snot out of it or just put some blood on the mouth? You should let me know now. I'm going to start with a very demure mouth bloodening. And then we'll work up to a blood NATO.
PJ Styles says, I'm mainly a prop maker and mask making is literally brand new.
Nothing is wrong with that. Make them, make them, make them. Just out of curiosity, DJ, how did you hear about my channel? Like, what made you start watching the still piece stuff? This is a
And we just sold a pumpkin one.
This is a demure mouth blooding. Let me know if you want more. And odds are good that Will is having an aneurysm trying to answer us again.
No, I've got it set right this time.
Oh.
set to where he's a little more. He's a bad pumpkin.
Okay.
Wants a little more. Keep watching, Will, so that we make sure that we get this where you want this. Ruggedly Handsome says, Death from Above would be a good hornet mask name. That's cool.
That is a good name.
Death from above.
He a bad pumpkin. My life is ridiculous. This is what I'm doing on Memorial Day. Blood the snot out of a pumpkin.
So Warren just bought a pumpkin blade.
He saw the pumpkin and he got excited.
So now he's got a Heptaron and a pumpkin blade. To this order. You can take something super special, put it this way. He always gets something cool.
Okay, let me know if that's good or if you want more. You got
He says, that's good.
you got the pumpkin fever. That's what happened.
Warren said, I got all excited. Found you, Ezekiel says, I found you when I Googled haunt wall panels. And you the first video that came up 5 years ago.
Interesting.
Stanley says, it's kind of got a clown vibe going
How dare you?
on. Rob O'Brien says, I hate it when my pumpkins go bad. Pumpkins be eating too much watermelon. Scott says, prop making tutorials got me hooked. The Rancor King. I rather like the movie they did with the young Han Solo and how they did Crimson Dawn Crime Syndicate. And how Darth Maul was shored up as that movie. I love me some Star Wars. We'll talk about it till the end if I'm allowed. Warren said, actually, I've been eyeing that pumpkin face mask for a while.
Hard.
No, we didn't do, honey. Get before the blood pumpkin mask pictures.
We already have that. I'm done.
Okay, great.
I have a picture of you with the original, and that's on the website too.
Okay. What do you need?
Clay. There's some.
Look, like. Oh yeah, to build your pieces out. And like they'll come here and they'll go back this way. They'll flare out like a cone.
Okay, so like
That one
Here,
is looking
especially,
pretty
right?
awesome.
Yeah, and this bit.
Okay.
Because yours is flat straight down,
Mhm.
and you want to build up a little bit out here and then go back in.
Okay.
Just like a semicircle,
So like
half an ice cream cone.
Yeah, half an ice cream cone.
You put half an ice cream cone right there and flare it around that way.
Yeah, and then it slide back in the eye back
Yep.
here. Got it.
And that gives you a few more textures.
Will said he's the pumpkin that seeks revenge for all the pumpkins left to rot on porches.
Yeah,
That's
Love
fun.
that's awesome.
That is fun.
And someone was thinking about a mask with an outside. I bet you were thinking about the carnivore mask that has the pumpkin face mask on it. Full carnivore has a pumpkin face mask, remember?
Yep.
So I think that's what they were thinking of. So you're not insane.
Are you going to mold the goat or pour the beast mode? Beastie.
Well, I can't pour him until I get him cleaned, and I'm not going to go outside and power wash tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull the goat over here and give him some last looks and figure out his molding for tomorrow.
DJ Styles says, no, I'm wrong. It was the plastic wrapping around the corpse skeleton. I think is how we found it. It says, "What's up?"
Aha! Yeah, that was a very popular video.
So is Will finished?
Will's done.
Will, you're finished.
I'm going to gloss the pumpkin after everything is dry, but it all has to be dry before I put gloss on it. Because pumpkins have that waxy sheen, and I want to replicate that.
I've
And
got.
Cash said, yeah, that's it. He was talking about the pork.
That's what I figured.
Murder hornet mask could double as a Mothra mask just to add butterfly wings.
Yes. Yes, it probably could. It could also be an ant.
Or a shrimp.
Brian Lippert said, corpsing the skull between.
Don't encourage them.
That's 1980s turf.
Don't you say the S word.
That's not, don't do it. He's on tonight. Ezekiel, poor shrimp.
See.
Will says,
You got
"Don't
me.
wait on my porch now." Mail #mail creeper. Bob O'Brien. Rue, I had such high hopes for you.
Why? What led you to that? You want to upset Rue, you call him Rob 2.0.
Oh. Ooh.
So, Will, you will ship out this week. And as soon as you do, I will send you a tracking number so you can creep all you want. Motu had buzz off, so kind of go with Beast Mode.
So, yeah, it's a funny thing. Like everybody's been, like all of my friends, Zach and the crew and stuff, were laughing quite a bit about the whole "is that your son" thing the other day about me being on. Yeah.
Like, what's our age difference? It's not that much.
It's 4.5 years.
Right, yeah, see.
Yeah. Haha. What?
Not the age, man. It's the mileage.
Someone asked if it was your son.
Someone asked
Yeah.
if it was my son.
So,
Oh my god.
When I was 17 and my friend Joe McHugh was 18, we drove from Maryland to Florida. Well, Maryland to Texas and then to Florida. And the whole way, neither one of us was technically old enough to rent a hotel room. But people just assumed Joe was my son. He was a year older than me, but I had, a full beard and stuff because I was 17 and I could do that. And he still looks like he's maybe 20, 25. But yeah, I've just always looked older. It was cool when I was younger because I looked like I was 12, and then the next year I looked like I was 30. And I stayed that way until I was 35. And now I look 50.
Rob O'Brien says,
Oh.
stunt Rob.
but yeah, with the that whole thing, the fun thing that amuses me is everybody does assume that Rob and I are actually brothers, like all the time.
That's a funny.
We are not related, not even in the slightest. Thank God. I mean.
What I don't want to see is a big weight in the bottom of the bag, because that means his chin fell off.
Yeah, we don't want that.
I've had that happen.
PJ Sound says, but I did follow you from that point on and have almost daily looked at your videos from that point on. Don't worry, I'm not stalking.
You're a creeper.
Murder Hornet is looking good. He says, I'm not a stalker, I'm just a big fan. 1980, Aussie killing my shrimp stick. Shit. He is. Damn it, Rob 2.0. Philip Earl. what's
Stop
wrong-
it.
What is wrong with 50?
Is that what you're looking for, though?
There ain't nothing wrong with 50.
As
What?
long as you don't feel 50, you're good. Stacy says, I don't.
Bring a little closer in.
Oh yeah, I'm
Wow.
gonna do the roll of it
Okay.
on the inside.
Then yes.
That looks crazy.
What?
The goat.
Yeah, doesn't he look nuts?
Holy smokes. I haven't seen him. He just unveiled this goat and I haven't seen him. I just took my breath from him. I'm like, God dang. Woo.
Oh, I don't feel 50. I feel 65.
You're cutting off the ears to mold them.
I'm cutting off the ears because I want to do the ears out of a different. I want to have ear options.
Let them, well, wait, let them see you cut that off.
Rue winces every time.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Every time that I just take a wire to a sculpture and just lop something off, Rue goes,
But it's part of what you're teaching people that it's okay to do that. It's not gonna kill them.
Yep. And I still
You do it.
big time wins every time he does it. Now, that I knew was coming off, so it doesn't quite hurt so bad.
Capricorn is deaf now.
huh?
He's
Is deaf. Pepperscorn is deaf. He lost his hearing.
Just his ears.
DJ Styles says, as long as you don't feel 50, you're good. Trust me, I'm 58. Now he's a painter. That actually looks. That actually looks really disturbing without ears. Oh.
Thunder.
No, I
Yeah,
Okay, buddy.
thunder's happening.
don't think so.
I just heard it.
The radar's clear. I'm watching. Looks
Yeah,
clear.
that was definitely thunder.
Really?
Yeah, that was thunder.
Boy. It's so small, it's not showing up on the radar. Or is it fireworks? What you got?
Will's like, is that an alien goat? What is that? You're freaking me out.
It does, it's pretty.
Sorry.
Warren says Van Gogh. Yes, I was.
Man, go. I'm easily amused. What?
Have you come up with the prices for the different goat options?
I haven't yet. I'm working on goat options.
I'm down, I can't get nothing.
Goats are going to be on the more expensive side because they're a bigger full head mask. They're normally going to have ears, they're going to have horns, they're going to have hair. So, and I have to mold something else to give them teeth. So a production goat. And I owe one goat to someone that has commissioned a goat. And I
And
won't
if
do
you-
anything exactly like that goat for anybody else.
I think he is on tonight with us.
That is
Brandon
possible.
D, is this your goat?
Now he is getting one without the third eye, which in the mold I'll just clay that in because hair comes down to here anyway, so you'll never tell that there was a third eye there.
Well, here's-
What about that? Just made that look so much more menacing.
Angles.
It is. It just,
Angles.
Like really.
Adding
really
in 45-degree angles
Yep.
really makes your sculpt scarier. Yep.
Is there a discount for no ears?
Yep.
It also looks like there's more room for muscles to attach. So it looks like he could give a stronger bite than the other side. And those are all things that your brain registers when you're looking at something.
Yep.
Which you
Imagine
don't
being
think
affected
about.
by that. I've goat to probe your, no, Will, no. Alan, you got my goat. Is there a discount for no ears?
Well, we will sell a blank of it, yes.
He was kidding.
Oh,
There was an LOL at the end. Scott Creighton. Scott, quit.
we always do options, man. So yes, there is a no ears discount. It's a no ears discount. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do.
Oh.
You can't see me, but I'm shaking my head.
Yeah.
That was a weirdo. A weirdo.
in
Believe it or
general,
not, that goat reminds me of those little creatures in the TV movie Don't Be Afraid of the Dark with Kim Duncan.
I would have to see that again. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, where did you find the remote?
That's a new remote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it went out with the trash.
Yeah.
Got it.
We threw out the old remote by accident, and then I got a new universal remote, and I dropped that in a 5-gallon bucket of water, and it worked for a while, and then it stopped. It's hard out here for a remote. Don't be afraid of the dark with Kim Darby.
So that's a must. Creepy classic.
Out.
I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark? Old school Nickelodeon.
So I will sculpt this mask, I will mold this mask, and then on the first pull, I will actually fill that first pull, just the muzzle, with plaster, so that I can have a base to sculpt his teeth on. So I'm going to set this up as a moving jaw mask.
Kind of looks like we could also make it look like Killamari from the Street Sharks.
I have to look up his head design. He was like a squid type thing?
That looks pretty cool. Looks like little pink demons in the gate.
They have shorter muzzles, but yes, generally.
1980 says Baxter Stockman.
Baxter Stockman from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Mm-hmm. He was a bug. He was a fly.
Yeah.
I think his whole theme was that he was ripped off from the movie.
Yes.
He was a scientist that had a fly come into his experiment and turned him into
Said yes, he's a squid type. Alan, what was the product name of the voice box you recommended?
It was the VFX Creates, is the company name, VFX Creates, and it was the Minion voice unit. That's what I use on costumes. It is a very powerful little unit.
So this little handy spoon tool
Yeah.
quickly just become my very favorite tool ever.
It's good for working on bugs.
just getting to the little crack and make a nice little seam.
Rue, how much more do you think you got on that?
About done. Just gotta lay in this extra lip here.
And then texture it.
And then lay a texture to just fix this texture on the mandibles. And not the mandibles, but addition here around the mandibles.
It's like a hood scoop. It also pushes it closer to the bug and writing, I think.
It does.
We should do a female fit version of Capricorn, says Stacy.
You know what? I actually think that this one probably would, because I knew that the back half of this was going to be mostly fur, so I could take out the back of this mask. This is actually on the Ed head, and I'm willing to bet that this would fit most female heads.
Bless you.
Thank you. Pop up the third eye, put in a horn, now you got an angry unicorn.
Again, pretty easy to just clay off the eye, and it won't even cast up with the eye. And you won't even know that it had a third eye.
Did Cash come model for your new head yet?
No. I'm gonna have Cash come out and I'll do a face cast so that I can offer a female form for females who come to Monster Camp and want to sculpt smaller masks.
That would be a very good, make sure we get some video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call.
It's a very feminine face.
Yep, it really is too bad that there aren't more female fit masks out there.
Well, I think there's a couple reasons why there's not.
Oh, I understand why there's not. It's just too bad.
Explain why there's not, because we'll listen.
Well, women have makeup training, you know what I mean, from the time they're young. So they're better at makeup to begin with. They have an assumed, not everybody, of course, I'm just saying in general, they have an assumed affinity and semi-knowledge of makeup products. So they normally end up doing makeup in the haunted attraction. So it's easier for them to do their own. And also, many of them, not all of them, have an affinity for just generally wanting to look good and wanting their face to be out there. And there's nothing wrong with that. What that means sometimes is that they don't want to wear masks as much. Now, some do. And for them, they should have the same product options that guys do.
Which is interesting because there was a lot of women in the haunt acting industry.
The haunted house industry is primarily women. Yes, owners are primarily men, but a vast number of those men are even married couples. The man just steps up front a little more most of the time. But actors, I think most haunts are female dominated as far as actors go. Could you hand me a marble-sized piece of clay, sir?
Or bigger marbles. Marbles come in a lot of sizes.
CS Creation says the Minion system is over $200.
Yes, sir. How much did you want a portable speaker system to be? Where whenever you push a button, it makes whatever sound you want. It's pricey, but the components aren't cheap. I mean, it's a quality unit that stands up to actor sweat and abuse. So, yes, it is pricey, and I think it's worth it. that onto a costume, it adds a little over $300 because I have to build pockets for it and that kind of stuff.
Says, yeah, something you would want to use for years. You've got hair on the goat's chin. That was DJ Styles.
Got it.
You're watching out.
I am definitely by the hair of my chin and thinking of the joke. I didn't come up with one.
So, Rue, when are you heading out this week back home?
I'll be here all week. I'll come back in.
Yeah, can come back out and mold that murder hornet.
More than
Why aren't you sculpting teeth with it? What is your thought process?
Any teeth that I sculpt with it, I'm stuck with. So I want the option to have this be a big fanged demon thing with big boar tusks that come back, and I want the option to have kind of regular goat teeth in it, which is more along the lines of the drawing that I was given. So I just want the options.
Rachel, I'm trying to figure out how you saw that. I am too. That was good eyes. Good night, Jesse Papa Bear.
Good night, Jess Papa Bear.
I just Papa
Good
Bear.
night.
Yeah, if I do the teeth separate, then I'll be able to sculpt several sets of teeth.
Explain to them what that is,
What this is?
what you do. That's very interesting.
This is a tongue depressor that 3 years ago I taped the tubes of Q-tips. These are plastic shafted Q-tips. And I taped them to a tongue depressor, and this is my favorite wrinkle tool in the world. It really gives good wrinkly textures. Like all of this up here, all of this was done with this tool. You know, you just go in. It really does a good job. I'm just looking for spots that I kind of missed.
That thing is terrifying with no hair or ears. I agree. It's pretty freaky just as it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get massive when it gets horns on it, because the request that I have, it's 2 sets of horns. So it's got $50 for the horns on it. I may use this as a base and do a Jersey Devil mask,
Ooh, that's fun.
because, you know, the shape of the head is kind of right.
Okay. Sawed-off piece of brush.
Stacy said, "Oh man, that thing's gonna be fun to ship."
Yeah, no. That'd be massive.
Three-eyed velociraptor. Alan, camel-looking, furless, and hornless. Camel-looking. Alien camel-looking.
A tauntaun, by the way,
Yeah.
a tauntaun head is a camel head with 4 nostrils. Like, that's the only difference. Which makes no sense considering it lives in the cold. It should have smaller nostrils. And the camel should have 4 nostrils to vent heat out of its body. So there you go.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Somebody say, Jersey Devil, take my money.
This will be a Jersey Devil. It won't have the third eye in it, but I'm going to do a Jersey Devil out of this. I think it's going to have a good look for it. That's why I want to be able to do several sets of teeth.
Wow, just brainstorming. Put gills on it for another kind of mask.
I'm doing actually a
Evil seahorse.
a seahorse. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We cut the pieces today. Let me find them. Where are those fins? There they are. I sized up these guys to see how these would look. Yeah, evil seahorse.
Without the third eye.
Right. And some gills. So, yeah. We're on it. You guys excuse me for a second, I have to go touch a pumpkin.
Warren is excited about that. Jersey Devil. Reminds me of 3030 from Bravestone. You could even make
Oh,
it a
yeah.
custom fitted mouthpiece
Wow.
that would turn it into a hammerhead shark. So he's not dry yet.
Pumpkin is still moist. It's a very wet day out, so I'm not surprised. Well, we have a hammerhead shark sculpt coming. There's already one of those happening. All right, so I'm pretty happy with this guy. I'm going to pledge him and then cover him up. Drew, how are you with your herder hornet?
I think I'm done.
Okay.
I'm just doing the whole brush baby powder, get the boogers off it.
Wife, can you do a 30-second story?
Oh,
Or a 30-second reminder?
okay. Gosh. I'm trying to. Okay, a few of you guys have reached out recently about the airbrush lab that we were discussing. And again, a lot of what we are looking at just with the way this year is going is the flexibility of being able to offer something if, you know, some people's shows are delayed or they don't get to travel as much, or, you know, I think home haunts are going to rather explode this year because maybe other shows can't. And I don't know, none of us know how it's going to go, but we were thinking about, and we did this before November, of doing another Krampus lab. And Krampus lab, for the folks who, I've had a few folks who have written me and asked, Krampus lab we did in November so that people who are doing a Christmas show or a Krampus walk or any kind of a Krampus type festival would have a mask ready in time. And what we did is we had several blanks. I think we had about 20, 25 blanks, and they're already based out black. And you got there that morning. It was just an all day make and take, and you would get there, you would choose your blank, and then you would start painting it.
And once you painted it, then you would add horns. You got to choose different horns, antlers, ram horns. We had a big selection of horns out there. We had selections of hair and fur. So you could add that if you wanted to, purely optional. We helped you strap the mask if it was a half mask, and some of them I think were full head masks too, so it kind of depended. What we did is we actually just went through what we had as far as molds, and we poured a bunch of them up and made those blanks available, and so anybody could choose whichever blank they wanted to, and it was ready to go. So it was basically like a cake has already been baked, you get to frost it. And that is what started Krampus Lab. It started early in the morning, and it went till about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. We provided a big German food spread, and beer at the end of the night, and it was a lot of fun. But it was a test drive on labs, and so we are thinking about doing Krampus Lab again this November. So there you go, Krampus Lab. We're hoping that happens.
You can do that too. Layers them even more, put them together more.
I'm sorry.
I think the wire is over. You actually are looking for it.
I'm looking for a tool that is wireless.
I live in South Jersey. I'll buy it for sure. Jersey Devil, I'm in.
I think that'll make a good Jersey Devil.
Hello, Rodney. Rodney is interested in an airbrush lab.
Oh, cool.
Al, it sounds like you will use the third eye less than you will. Why not remove it now and sculpt and mold the third eye separately for attaching it as when you need it?
Because when I want it to be seamless. And making it seamless would be more work than removing it with hair covering all that. Okay. Can't find the tool I'm looking for, so I'm going for the wire.
Yeah.
Where do you want to move the camera over so they can see what we're doing?
Sure. About to hack at my sculpt. Love it when he does this.
I may sense a tone of sarcasm.
Me? Sarcastic? Never. Ooh.
Sharper.
Oh, just sharpening them? Okay.
This is why I like clean clay.
Who knows? I grabbed it somewhere.
But now these have a sharpness that will be scary.
Yep.
Now they're more bladey.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to put in these little runs again.
And
Yeah.
Sharpen it.
Leave that edge. Leave that sharp edge.
Mm-hmm. And dunk out of whatever that chunk of stuff was. You just
Then you got to fill that in.
Right?
Yeah.
Traditional Santa, but evil like the snowman. I think they make a good pair to
Used
go
to.
after Halloween.
I already make an inbred snowman and an evil snowman and an inbred Santa.
Santa's not on the website, so there's
Oh, inbred Santa's not on the website, but I do make one.
Hey Alan, can you show us the other mask he's working on? Sorry, your name escapes me. Call it a senior moment. That is rude, DJ Styles.
And you are now looking at it.
Yep.
A run of Bug Eyes core masks could add custom character flexibility.
That is a possibility. I'm gonna bag up this goat. Like $1 for the time I said that.
You have $1?
I got $2. I said it the other day too.
Oh, okay. I'm sure you've said it before though. That is not the first goat you made.
No.
I thought of another good Hornet mask name, either Buzzkill or Buzz Killer.
Oh, I like Buzz Killer. That's nice. So, honey, real quick, end of the night here, find somebody to name this mask, or should we do it tomorrow? Shannon says we're going to name the Murder Hornet tomorrow, and we're going to name the goat tomorrow. Wait, Capricorn is already named. We already did that one. Murder Hornet we'll name tomorrow.
There is this Capricorn company.
Hey, Will, I see your question. We're about to sign off. I'll find you a picture and I will post it to the Facebook Creepers page for you of the Santa Claus. He is not on the website yet, being a holiday thing, but we do have one.
Well, he is a dirty, dirty inbred Santa.
Are you lighting tomorrow? It's Tuesday. Would you like to?
No, I'm not going to go live tomorrow. So Wednesday, we will name the Murder Hornet.
Thanks, Rachel.
Wednesday, we'll name the Murder Hornet. Yes. Remember the name Buzz Killer. It is pretty nice.
That is pretty nice.
Rue, go ahead and say goodnight to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, look at him. There you go.
Oh, okay. Good night, everybody. Great hanging out with you.
Wife,
tonight.
want to say goodnight from a distance?
Good night.
From a distance. That's a song, right?
Yes.
I don't know what
Sure.
that's from. Everybody, I'm going to say goodnight. Thanks for hanging out with us. And go make stuff.
Go make stuff!